Hey everybody, this is Devin. Welcome to video 7. This is a weekly review, so this video does not contain personal development or self-improvement advice in the same way that my other videos do. It might have a little bit in there because that's usually how I like to talk, but it's more of just a review on how things have been going and the kind of 6 videos that I've already made and the week so far. More as kind of a personal catalog. I think that the personal development stuff is really good. I love doing it, and I just want to make sure that I'm cataloging the journey, because maybe 300 videos down the line or 500 or something like that, I'm really going to wonder about how I started, and a lot of people are going to wonder about how I started. So I want to keep a history of that. So this is sort of a 7-day review of where I've been. The thing about consistency in anything is that going the first few times is really easy. Like, let's take the gym, for example. Like, okay, I want to go to the gym. Well, like the first few days are going to be really easy. Like anybody can do that. What's really hard is like day 6, day 7, day 8, where you start to get tired or life just has some kind of thing that comes up and is like, hey, like you should do this thing instead, and you shouldn't do your video or you shouldn't go to the gym. That's where it really gets tough and you have to kind of push through it. And I'm experiencing that. Like yesterday was a really tough day to do a video. I just didn't feel like I was in it. I didn't feel I had the right energy. And I realized, like, I think an experienced person that knows about improving themselves will identify that. They'll be like, okay, this is the moment where I need to overcome because this is where it's getting tough. Like I saw that on day 6, where day 6 was where like it was getting tough. Day 6 was like, okay, this is not as easy as the first few days. This is going to take some effort to actually go through. And that was beginning to worry me. So I really like the structure of the videos that have gone by so far. I want to open the forum to more of like a Q&A where people ask really specific questions about success and about self-improvement, and then I answer them. And I think that I have there's like a good energy around doing that and that kind of back and forth. I also want to experiment with like different types of video where we do like mobile stuff, me walking around, and different kind of formats of videos. So there's like a lot of things I want to experiment with in the next 3 weeks. Good news, it hasn't really impacted my work at CLG at all. I was worried about that. I was thinking, what would happen if I would certainly drop the challenge. I was ready to do that if I noticed that like my work at CLG was going to be declining. In the last week, it hasn't. Actually, the opposite. I've actually been working harder at CLG. I think the reason is because I know that I have to do these videos. So like I'll work really hard throughout the entire day, and I usually start doing these videos at like 10, 11 p.m. And that's when I start filming, after like a full day of doing stuff. And that's like pretty intense. So what it has increased is like my cognitive load. It's made my mental effort and the amount of expenditure that I have to kind of give out a lot more. And that has forced me to step up in other areas. One thing that I do a lot of personal development content, right? But I have challenges too. And one of my personal demons is like sleep schedule. Sleep schedule has always been a thing that I struggle with. I love staying up late at night. I like the quietness, and I like how not many people kind of bother me. So I know that to achieve like optimal performance, I need to be one of those kind of 6 to 7 a.m. people. But I haven't been able to get there yet. It's a tough road. But I know that doing these videos, if I was able to keep that schedule and then work from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then 7 to 10, I would work on this kind of stuff. I would have, it would be much easier for me to be able to complete that. And then from like 7 a.m. to like 11 a.m., I'd be able to like actually work on stuff when nobody's awake. That'd be really cool. Because it's tough working on stuff when everyone's awake. Like everybody wants to get in front of you for something. There's a lot of interruptions. And I think like a lot of other, like people don't understand creative flow. And maybe this is actually beneficial for if you're watching this. Creative flow is like, you can't interrupt it. You can't distract yourself. And like, let's say that you start work and you have to do something like really creative. Like you have to think of an idea, or you have to think of like a new direction for yourself. You really got to be in an environment where you're open and you're not getting distracted or trying to do something or have YouTube on the other screen. Like we're used to having so many different sources of input, but I don't think we're good at discerning that. I think most of us need to focus on one thing and just do that thing. And if you get an uninterrupted period of time to do something and you're energetic, like you're in it, that's a really good time to start working. If you ever feel energetic and you've got like a couple hours to yourself, like use them. You don't know when you'll get that back. Having alone time to work is really good. I've been experiencing like not having much of that, and it's been pretty tough because I live in the CLG house, and sometimes there's visitors and sometimes like people are around. And just like as you upgrade kind of through the ladder of life, the amount of time that you have to call your own is like less and less. So cherish it and like get some really good deep work done when you're in it. But yeah, I've noticed it's gotten tough. I, at this point, still anticipate that I'll be able to complete the challenge because I am working optimally at CLG, which is like my primary KPI. But I do think it'll be a struggle for the next like week or so, especially since I'm going to TwitchCon next week. And like the logistics of how that'll work are interesting. Like, am I going to film 2 or 3 videos beforehand and then I'll post them? I think that's what I'll do. Or do I try to like film stuff there and upload it, which could be like really challenging with hotel internet and stuff like that. You know, you don't really have experience into these things. So I have a feeling that like I'll look back on this video 500 videos later and just like laugh at like my logistics and my process for this. But that's the point, right? That's what's fun about it. I have no idea how I'm gonna get around that, but it'll be interesting. So TwitchCon is next week, and I'll be hitting that for like 2 days, going to the convention hall, going pretty hard. Twitch is near and dear to my heart as I was a full-time broadcaster, and it is really the company that, like the other company that I'm really passionate about other than CLG. I love what they're doing at Twitch. I think they're revolutionizing the world. I love the people there. They're just great people, and I can't wait to actually go to TwitchCon because it's actually gonna be my first TwitchCon. The last year I was in Korea. It should be really exciting. Very, very cool. So after I go to TwitchCon, I'll be back for a while, and then I will be going to Lake Tahoe. I'll be giving a couple of keynotes there, which I hope to film. Would that not be cool? I'll be talking to some students. And if I do that, then I will put those up on YouTube. And then after Tahoe, I'll be back here for the foreseeable future where it will be pretty easy to make these videos, complete the 30-day challenge, and then who knows what. A lot of what I've been thinking about is like what adds value to people. What are the type of videos that I need to do to get people to really feel like they've had a positive impact from a video? And I think about that a lot. And I'm still not sure I have the answer. I think it'll be a lot of time before I get that answer. But for now, I've been really happy with the challenge. It's definitely a challenge for a reason. It's named a challenge for a reason. It is difficult. Once you get to the 7-day mark in something, I think you're kind of in the thicket of it. And that's when you really got to put the pedal to the metal and it's going to see what you're made of. So I think I can keep consistent. I think I'll complete it. I really appreciate the support. There have been a lot of comments that have served as like my oxygen through all this, that have said like, hey, this is really helpful, or you've made a difference. And people may or may not realize that I read every single one of those comments, every single one on Twitter, every single one on Facebook, every single one on YouTube. I respond to as many as I can. It's just great to have those and to have that support. Also, some people have started asking questions. I'd like some questions about success or about specific issues. Some general questions like how do I deal with X or how do I deal with laziness and stuff like that. Those are good to answer, but they're really broad subjects that don't always have like a blanket answer because every situation is like specific to you. So I wonder if I can't provide more value by like answering specific questions. So I'll be on the lookout for those. But in the meantime, I really hope you've enjoyed the challenge so far. This is really just to the benefit of the community that supports me. I just want to provide value to people and have them take a step forward in their lives and improve because I know it's possible. I know you can do it. I'm excited to see you do it. And like my big thing would just be having some people come back maybe 2 or 3 months later and being like, hey, that one video, like I got 2% better because I took something from that and I did it. And ultimately, like I'm not doing anything for you, right? Like people say, oh, it's so amazing that you make these videos, it's great. Like, no, like you're gonna be the one that changes. I'm not gonna be the one that changes. I'm changing myself, but you're gonna be the one that actually like takes the knowledge from like the last video where we went like really tactical into like how to get over the fear of failure. Like I love that. It's like exactly how you do it, right? You're gonna be the one that like takes that away and actually does something with it or not. I'm not gonna be the one that changes you. You're gonna be the one that changes yourself. So if you come to me and you're like, hey, Devin, you were a small part of that. You were a small part of like that change and I made it happen for myself and now I'm there. that's so cool for me. That's like all I want to see out of these videos. So I guess that's the end of my rant. Overall, things have been going pretty well, and I'm really grateful to have you along in this journey. I wonder, actually leave a comment if you've actually watched every single video. Leave a comment if you've watched every single video. That'd be really cool if you've watched every single video. What a trip that would be. And in the meantime, thank you so much for just being a part of this thing. Thank you so much for joining me in the journey. I'm looking forward to seeing you for day 8. We're going to get back to that self-improvement stuff, and hopefully I can find some Q&A that I can kind of bounce back, and we'll have kind of a Q&A session for that video. So we'll see. But thank you so much for your guys' support. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I love seeing your comments. I love you being a part of this. Thank you so much. I will see you guys again for the next video.